Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cop Blast Podcast. As always, I am Matt Taylor of Carbon County Cop Block.
Rick Gonzalez, Allentown Cop Block.
I'm sorry about this, guys.
And Scott's having a little bit of technical difficulties at the moment. That seemed right for par for our professionalism here on Cop Blast Podcast.
Yeah.
So how's it going, guys?
I take it you're multicasting today there, Scott.
Yeah, I'm multi-streaming and sometimes I get a few hiccups, but
Hey everybody
hopefully-
over on the Oath Accountability Project.
Hey, what's up, Allentown Cop Block?
I'm Scott Marshall of the Oath Accountability Project.
And this is Cop Blast Podcast.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about the little stall there, guys. Did Matt? Did you have any interaction with police this week?
I was thinking, and I don't think I have. Nope.
What about you, Rick?
Nope, not really.
Yeah, me neither. It's been a bit of a slow week. I personally did put up a YouTube video today. It was about licensing and whatnot, but you guys can go check that out on Oath Accountability Project. It's just a rant video, but I felt it necessary to put up in response to a lot of the trolls that I get.
So, but what we did do over the weekend, we did, do a little stuff in our personal lives, and ended up going out to the yard sales and stuff. That there was an event up here in Carbon County for it, and did you by any chance show Rick the one of the awesome finds we found?
Oh no, I didn't. We found.
I have one right here. If you could see what this says, I will bring it closer.
I got.
I didn't quite see it.
What does it say on it?
Law Enforcement Academy, and it is for Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Really? You gotta
So
let me buy that.
Actually found these just sitting on the rack. There was no way we couldn't buy it. Oh, do we have plans?
How much they sell it for?
$5. He said it was $5 for the logo.
Really?
Yep. So that should be fun. Wow, we're a lively bunch of fuckers tonight, aren't we?
Yes.
We were in the middle of a conversation and then just looked out and realized, oh shit, it's showtime. So we were a little taken off guard coming into the show. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
Oh. And looks like I already have a troll on my chat. He is asking, do I watch porn and can I see your slit? Well, if you want to ask us questions, you can call us at 872-COP, C-O-P-B-L-S-T, and we'll be happy to answer them for you.
Yeah. Call on
That's
in, bud.
That's 872-C-O-P-B-L-S-T.
Well, I don't watch porn. I make my own porn.
Ah.
I make my own movies. So
Hey,
I don't know
ain't
what
no
this
shame
guy's
in my
talking
game. Ain't no shame in my game. I watch hella porn, so guilty.
Yeah, I know. At least Rick has called up to my house more than once, in the sense of on Google Hangouts, and the first question he had was, he was like, "Now, why is this pointed directly at your bed?" He was like, "You're asking too many questions, and fun."
Yep. Well, there's been an interesting week. First, if we want to jump right into it, we have Adam Torres, the officer who shot John Gear. He's getting out.
Really?
Already?
Yeah, the John Gear story I had been following for a while. It's the story of the guy, and I want to say it was Fairfax, Virginia. Yep, Fairfax County, Virginia. The guy John Gear was standing in his doorway with his hands up on the thing, with cops, had guns kind of pointed at him, and they were talking, and they were trying to get him to, come outside, and he didn't want to come out. And they were talking, and every time he went to go scratch his head or something, he's announced, "Hey, I'm bringing my hands down to scratch my face" or something.
Right, right.
And one of the times they shot, this officer Adam Torres shot and killed him, and a bunch of other officers, they didn't back him up on this. This was a definite cross of the blue line. They were like, we're not with that. We're not okay with what he did. So he got convicted and sentenced for murder.
Yeah, and this was just last August of all things, just last August. So he hasn't even been. It's not even a year old.
Yep. And 10 months in, and they said, well, what was it? Overcrowding?
Yeah, I think that's the same excuse they used for Jared Fogle and letting him out after 6 months after his 5 to 15 for child porn. It's blue line and it's money. That's what it comes down to.
The jails in New York. I know this didn't happen in New York, but the jails in New York are always crowded, and they never release nobody for overcrowdedness.
But see,
So
like,
it's just
what happened is there was an appeal, and then you got manslaughter, which was 12 months, and then in Virginia you only serve 87% of your time, so it's like
if
10
it's a
months.
violent crime, it's even less if it's a non-violent crime.
70% if it's non-violent.
Yep. So, and then of course if and when a state decides there's overpopulation, then they'll take into account like who you were on the outside and then
Good behavior.
all that horse shit. But it all comes
Well,
down to who's
the only people that belong in prison are murderers, rapists, thieves. Anybody that commits a crime that has a victim.
Yeah.
Then punish them.
Correct.
But prison itself is really inhumane, and that's a whole other big thing. And there's lots of disagreement on punishment and how it would be carried out. And
right.
It's all. I don't have the answers there.
I don't know if any of us really do.
You don't have the answers, Sway. You don't have the answers. But I mean, 10 months for murder. I mean, there's people that are serving life for growing weed.
Yep. So basically, this is just another case of
bullshit.
Of bullshit, where as long as you're wearing that badge, I mean, remember, kids, badges don't grant extra rights unless of course, you really are wearing the badge. And then it's just, unfortunately, it seems more like something that we tell ourselves and then watch every single day as it just happens. And that's, if you ever wonder why we're doing what we're doing, it's because that shit happens. It's because it shouldn't, and it's bullshit. And these people commit the same crimes that civilians do, and there's no reason that they should be allowed to get less of a sentence because of their past. Because you turn around, and if you take into account, pasts, that's just, it's bullshit. Because I mean, it's infuriating. I mean, it's infuriating to the point that I really can't even put the anger into good, coherent words at this moment, just because it's just so unjust. You work for the justice system, and it's just, the name itself is a farce. So.
Well, we have a question from our troll, and this person said, when you guys make videos, would you be able to record more of the situations instead of just making a short video?
If you look at both of their YouTubes, especially the one that you're on right now, you will see that most of the videos have a little tab there that says raw video. There's nothing really cut. I mean, I can see several on that YouTube right now on Oath Accountability where it shows Scott drive up, the situation happened, and Scott drive away. I mean, I don't know what more of the situation you're really looking for in a video if the whole damn encounter is there. It's just,
yeah, I mean, I guess the most editing that I really do is, say they tell me to wait, and I'm sitting there waiting for like 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes of just blank video. And, I hate to do it like this, but YouTube won't suggest your videos as much if more people aren't watching more of your videos. It's an analytics sort of thing, and it's just how you have to do it. I don't cut out any relevant information. I don't cut out anything relevant that happened. I don't try to edit to make it look one way or the other. It's just there. The whole thing, start to finish, is there. So I mean, it and half of my videos are up there just as raw files. So I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
And he also wants to know if we like Trump. Well, I mean,
Have you ever watched this show?
does this look like a really, favorable image of Donald Trump?
No. If you want my opinion on Donald Trump, I mean, it's been given several times in this show, but I think I'll go ahead and spin one more up for it. Fuck Donald Trump. All right, the man is a joke. I mean, inside of a system that's a joke itself, it's kind of hard to find somebody who actually makes it worse. And it's just, god damn, the man is a joke inside of a joke.
I mean, and if anything, he's pandering to people that aren't very smart. So he's taken the side of police. Like, and I'm saying those as two separate things. Like, he's pandering to people that aren't smart, and he's also taken the side of police, which is kind of in the same thing. Because I'm not saying that people that support police aren't smart. I'm just saying that maybe they haven't thought about it all the way through about what it really means to support a corrupt system like that, and just the whole thing. So he's an authoritarian. He wants to give more power to the cops. He wants to stop them being harassed, quote unquote. And he wants to make it so that people can't criticize the president. I mean, what? That's the First Amendment.
Yeah.
So what's next? Are we gonna be putting up giant pictures of him everywhere on billboards and on the streets, and just
He's not the
shining with the sun behind him, just with a big wall? If anybody gets where I'm going with this.
Oh yeah.
North Korea. But I digress. Back to police-related matters, and no more ridiculous troll questions.
So I see here that we were going to be talking about the incident that happened with the Texas cop outside of the pool party. You remember that?
Yeah, that was last summer, right?
Yeah, where it was a child's pool party. It was a bunch of teens, and the cops show up and just start arresting and tossing kids around. And I mean, there's no reason in it. And I think, why don't we go ahead and show this video, a little bit of it, just to go ahead and remind everybody what we're talking about here.
All right, I got it queued up.
Nope, I got it.
Okay, you're gonna play it for us? All right. That's even better.
Okay, let me get some sound. Okay, we're gonna come back here. Look at Turbo Cop here. Hauling ass, falls down, does a ninja roll, gets up, starts running. I mean, this alone shows you the mentality of these fucking idiots rolling into this situation.
Who does he think that he is?
I don't know, but let's go back one more time, just for.
There
it is. Oh my god. Like, yep. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police.
Wow.
This is insane. Do you see how many cops are here for this?
Hey, let me go give it to him. No. Hey, let me give it to him. I want to give it to him. Hey, it was his. She got like a blackout. No, it wasn't his. It wasn't his.
He's here. Don't take off running when the cops get here. What's up, man? Oh, thank you.
It was that guy.
It took them how long to investigate this?
That guy.
I mean, there's enough cops there to have a supervisor on scene. There's a supervisor on scene. I mean, really, how long does it take to investigate? I mean, there should be one at this point. Look at this cop. Look at this cop. He's just running around like a maniac, like
a sheepdog, like he's hurting them.
Like he's having a field day.
Right? Look how many kids are technically detained at this moment.
They're not really detained. They could just get up and walk away. Like he would just do some sort of ninja roll and fucking run after him.
Okay, so basically, have you guys ever watched Archer? Because I think this guy is like a perfect candidate for the mindset.
They should get him for the live action movie.
Mm-hmm. This guy needs theme music, and it should not be action-packed.
He should get like Mission Impossible, like dun 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Yep.
Look, he's just pacing around. Look at him. He looks like an angry dog at this point. Just he doesn't know what to do.
But have you noticed this? Hold up. We need to go back here for a second, because that was insane. Okay, so
Richard, what color was it? It's navy blue. I know where it is.
Okay. Walking this way, he's like, sit down, right? A whole bunch of white people right here, nothing. Black kids, sit down. We turn around, and there's nothing but black kids all sitting on their asses. Like, if this isn't the most racially profiled thing I've seen in a long time. White kids standing over here, black guys all on their asses.
30 pounds of goddamn gear on the sun because you want to screw around out here? Y'all keep standing there and run your mouth. We're going to go too. Get out.
What?
Yep, you see this? The
So
racism is strong
it took
with
a
this
year.
one.
It took a year to investigate this, and then for them to say, "No, we're not going to do anything." I mean, that's just the status quo. Everybody's all pissed off about it, and then wait till nobody remembers it at all. Just wait till it's not even on the, so it's not even on the radar at all.
Yep.
And then we'll just slip it in as a side note. Oh yeah, by the way, that thing last year, nothing's happening.
Yep.
And here's a squirrel on some water skis. Yeah.
Fluff piece. Woo. Yeah, that is it all day, and it's kind of ridiculous.
The media is just, and I don't understand how the cops could say that the media treats them so bad and that it paints them in such a bad light. What media are you watching?
Yeah,
'Cause,
right.
I mean, anytime I turn on the TV, I'm seeing the opposite. Like, well, please, I'd love to watch these channels. Wherever you're seeing them bad-mouthing the police, I'd love to watch those channels.
Yeah, that's primary programming for me.
Yep. So he didn't get in any trouble at all. Tupperware pilot. So sorry.
But hey, anybody who wants to be a part of the conversation, if you go ahead and call now, it is 872-267-2578. That is 872 Cop Blast.
872 COPBLST. Cop Blast.
So anyways, we have some more stories that we were going to get into here, right?
Yeah, let's see. We got a couple. Let's talk about this chip sniffing dog that the Utah cops bought. His name is URL. Well, that's okay. It's kind of cool. Except that'd be here URL here URL. Like that is be kind of hard to. Just one of those dogs' names where you'd be like yelling it and people would be like, "What the fuck is that guy yelling?"
Yep.
Like if you're outside yelling like, you know, Sparky, they're like, "Oh my god, that guy lost his dog." But if you're outside yelling, URL, URL.
Come on, dude, that'd be hilarious.
Or make your dog's name I am gay. Like, can you help me look for my dog?
Like,
What's
sure,
his name? I am gay. That's all he answers to.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's stop offending.
But yeah. There's nothing wrong with being gay. It's just some people have a knee-jerk reaction, and it's funny to prank them. I love gay people. But you have Utah cops buy porn-sniffing dog.
That's
Why? So they have these dogs, and they train them to sniff out these drugs and stuff. And the science behind this is kind of odd, And if you know anything about this, you know that these cops use dogs for all kinds of stuff, especially when they want to try to get into your car. They'll bring the dog around. They say they smell weed, and they can even do something with their hand to get the dog antsy to make the dog do what they want. They can get the dog to false signal and be like, yeah, the dog says there's drugs in your car. You're like, well, you're the one that's listening to a dog, so who's on drugs? But they're the ones listening to dogs.
So here's my question, okay? Because it's a porn sniffing dog, so it's not actually going after something like tangible in the sense of drugs or something like that. It's going after something that could very well be digital. So you telling me that the dog's going to come up and come sit down at the computer and just do a little paw tapping for a second, and next thing you know, it's like, I found porn. Or are you just basically just like putting it around people's property? It's like, go smell cum, find cum somewhere.
I think it may be like the silicone in the chips or something.
But you're telling me it's not the same. The silicone and the chips, like, oh god.
Well, it's what they do is they put a bunch of chips inside of a tennis ball, and then first and foremost, to find a good drug dog, you got to get a dog that's just crazy about his ball. Like anytime, anywhere you pick up that ball, that dog is playing. Like the dog could be paralyzed from the waist down, and you pick up the ball, and the dog will drag its body to get the ball. Like that's what you want. Right. And then you take the ball and you put whatever you want the dog to find inside of it. And then you hide the ball, you play with the ball, you do all kinds of stuff with the ball for a long time until the dog associates the ball with the smell of whatever the dog's looking for. Yep. And then you take the dog around, and when the dog starts scratching, oh, he's looking for the ball. That's where he thinks the ball is. So when the dog says to that I'm scratching here, he's not saying, hey, there's drugs here. He's saying, my ball's here, my ball, my ball, my ball.
Right.
Sorry, your banner.
Yeah, I'm fixing it.
Threw me off. I couldn't understand why that was the main window that popped up. It's really our professionalism, but you know what? This is a podcast, and I try not to take it too seriously because we're all humans and we're having fun. And I personally look forward to this time every week.
Absolutely.
So,
Rick, you've been surprisingly quiet tonight.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. But I'm just trying to catch up on all the stories. I haven't really been online and reading up on stuff, so I'm just here reading up on some of the latest stories going on.
Hey, Rick, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you feel about the current driver's licensing system?
I think driver's license, having to get somebody getting a driver's license or needing to have one to drive, I just think it's bullshit.
Amen.
I've driven plenty of cars. I started driving when I was like maybe 15, and never got into an accident. I never got pulled over for any traffic violations. I could park the car with no problem.
But I'll play devil's advocate here, and let me ask you. But what if like an 11-year-old kid, gets behind the wheel of a car and drives it into somebody's house? Then what? Well, what does that mean, guys?
Well, okay. I would go ahead and counter with. I mean, I understand that the opening it up to not being licensed means that you would interpret it as the fact of not being able to do it at a certain age. But there are plenty of things that we as a society might not have laws for, but turn around and don't let our kids do it right away. Like, there's not a law that says me as a parent am not going to allow my child to turn around and watch this movie because it's way too graphic for them. I've made that choice. Now, that's the same way as it goes as a society would probably turn around and say, okay, you know what? This is a certain age that we believe that children should be taught to drive. You know, I don't think we're just going to be like, oh, let's send our 2-year-old down to the grocery store to go pick up some milk because nobody's that fucking retarded.
I mean, and if
are that fucking retarded, but still, if they're that fucking retarded, they would do it. They were going to do it anyways.
Yeah, but the thing is, if that were to happen, then what? Well, I would counter and say it's already illegal to smash into somebody's house, and if your kid does it, you're partially responsible. I mean, that's just how it is. If you let your kid get in a car and drive, it's also your fault. I mean, it's already illegal to smash up somebody's house. It's already illegal to, to hurt people. So why are we also adding this extra layer here? I mean,
well, I've got a nice video that I'd like to play here, if you don't mind.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. Who is this guy?
Today I'm going to do a drive and rant video, doing my own little version of it with the 360. Today I wanted to talk about, on my YouTube channel, the most common comment that I get on a daily basis. The most common comment is not a right.
Good English.
Privilege. I hear this all the time. People tell me this. I read it, and I just want to say that's fucking nonsense. The Supreme Court granted people the right to travel and to use the common conveyances of the day, which would include an automobile. They've also said that a state cannot take away a right and then charge you a fee or give it back conditionally. And that's what a license is when the government takes away a right from you and gives it back on a conditional basis.
Good point.
Like a fishing license or a license to own a dog. I mean, where are we at this point in this country where everybody's saying, ooh, licenses, yay. As long as you have a license, you are good to go. But the thing is, if I didn't have a driver's license right now, I'd still be able to operate this vehicle perfectly fine. You're saying, well, Scott, what about the people who don't? Well, the thing is, if they get in an accident and they hurt somebody or they smash up somebody's car or somebody's house, all that stuff is still illegal. It's already been illegal. So why do we need yet another step in there?
Right.
And, I wouldn't have such a big problem with it if the governments didn't use your driver's license as a way to punish you. Because they know that they can have a total effect on your life if you don't have a driver's license. Like if you live in kind of like a rural area, I wouldn't say this is too rural, we're kind of in the middle of town, but if you live in a pretty rural area, and they take your license away, your life is done. 6 months, a year and a half, it's done. You have to rely on everybody else to essentially do anything.
And I mean, that's a great point. I'm going to cut that off there, Scott. And if you want to see the rest of that rant video, you can go ahead and pop on over to the Oath Accountability Project's YouTube and check that out over there.
Yeah, I was not expecting that we were going to play that, but thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you made some really good points in that, though. I currently right now am serving a suspension on my license for some bullshit. If any of you have been watching for a long amount of time, you'll know that I had a DUI charge that came against me at the end of last year. I was able to beat that due to the fact that I was fucking sober. I'm not an idiot. And it turned out that they found something somewhere that they could turn around and say that I didn't have a license. Although I did, I had one. I handed it to the officer that day, like it was a valid driver's license. And they turned around and suspended me till 2018. So now I am a person who works my ass off, a 40-hour work week every single week, yet I still got to walk to and from work, like, plenty of Americans have to do, but the fact is I didn't have to until they forced that upon me. and that's as a punishment that does not fit a crime, considering that if you look at the way it's supposed to be, we shouldn't have to pay for something that we're supposed to be able to do. It's supposed to work with the times. So if the times is a fucking motor vehicle and not a horse, then I should have the right that if I own a motor vehicle to drive that motor fucking vehicle wherever I want to take it. You know, you can go ahead and have rules to your road, and I mean, we'll get into that as a separate thing, but just the fact of having to pay to operate something that you own and have the right to operate without a license just really infuriates me that they still turn around and then charge you for your right and then hold it over you like a little treat until, you know, they have it to take away just to try to fuck your life up.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, how else are they going to fine, or are they going to punish you except fine you?
Right.
I mean, and then what if you don't pay your fine? What do? The next step is they take your license. If they didn't have that, the next step would be take you to jail, of course. But, you know, your license shouldn't be a punishment. They shouldn't be able to lord that over you, like, you know. And everybody says, oh, driving is a privilege, not a right. Well, why?
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand. Why are you advocating for this? I mean, you just repeat it over and over, but you don't tell me why. Why is this necessary that it's a privilege?
Yep.
Like the government is some you know, stern parent. Like no, fuck that. I'm an adult. You can suck it.
It's just, and if you guys out there have any anything you want to say about this, you could go ahead and call in at 872-267-2578. We would love to hear from you on this topic. But it really does draw into question. I mean, think about it. It's illegal to be free anymore. You can't generate your own electricity without getting a fine. You can't fish without getting a license. So, and hence, you can't just go and fish without getting a fine. You can't hunt without getting a fine. You can't collect fucking rainwater without getting a fine. Like, freedom is gone. And if you don't realize that, like, you're gonna catch on too late when it's so far gone that there's nothing we can do. Right now, if we can band together and get a big enough voice, we might be able to course correct. But if you just sit by idly and do nothing, this is just going to get worse. You know, the government and the way that it operates, especially all the way down and trickles down to law enforcement, is a cancer. And you can't just fight cancer by doing nothing. I mean, even if it's something like what we do, go out and film them, make sure we hold them as accountable as possible. The more people that hold police accountable, the more change we can enact. It's just...
Yeah. I've got this back and forth. I got two commenters on my stream going back and forth, and they're kind of arguing kind of about common law. And I just want to stress to the viewers, you know, we are very versed in common law.
Yes.
We know all about it, and we know, but it shouldn't be that fucking pain in the ass, all right? And when you deal with common law, you're changing all the rules and everything, and I get it. And in some theory, somewhere, some places, it does work. But we got to make this okay for everyday people, and it's just not on that level. Maybe one day it can be on that level, but I mean, I'm familiar with it. We're versed. It's just it's just not something that that I would recommend approaching.
I can agree
you know,
with that.
you have a better chance of just, you know, explaining to people the non-aggression principle. You know, if you don't hurt anybody and if nobody's hurting you, then everything's all right. So, you know, it's just people don't. I mean, I get it, guys.
Yeah.
Carl Lenz and all that. I know, but
Black's Law,
it
like,
just
looking at this too.
yeah, Black's Law. I mean, it works theoretically and sometimes in practice, but it's just too much. And you gotta if you go that way, you have to go 100. You have to go all or nothing, 100% or nothing, because that's the way that shit works. And
Right.
one fuck up and you're done. So
Yep.
that's playing high risk, and I'm not playing high risk. I'm playing exercise your rights and otherwise stay the fuck out of it. So anyhow,
Yeah.
next we were gonna talk about, and I'd just like to shout out to our viewers. Thank you for watching. You're the
Yes.
whole reason we do this podcast. We got the dual stream set up so we can reach more of you guys. Make sure that my viewers on my stream, Oath Accountability Project, also hop over and subscribe to Cop Blast Podcast and Allentown Cop Block. Carbon County Cop Block will soon have their own YouTube.
Absolutely.
And we're all on Facebook too. Carbon County, Allentown, Cop Block. Both of those cop blocks are on Facebook and also my Facebook. It could use some love.
Yes. All of you guys, head on over there. There's 2,000 of you guys here. You should check out the content that goes on into our Facebooks every day. There's a lot of stories that we don't have time to get to on the podcast, but plenty that we'll put up for you guys throughout the week. And I definitely want to give a shout out to our new guy watching here, Jay. Absolutely, fuck the police. I'm with you on that one, guy.
Yep, and also anybody watching on the Google Plus stream on Cop Blast Podcast, we have the Q&A section, and there's also 872 Cop Blast, COPBLST. That's 872-267-2578. If you have any questions for us, if you want to add to the topic, or you want to introduce your own topic, we're not that rigid of a show, so if you want to call us up, or if you just want to call us douchebags or whatever.
Yeah, you can call us douchebags. That's fine.
Yeah. But anyhow, next we're gonna go to Florida cop allows dog to maul man for riding bicycle with no lights. Now, just reading the headline, I can think, he's riding his bike with no lights, which means it's a safety thing. He's worried about the guy's safety. Or is he?
Yeah, or is he?
Or is he? He's worried about the guy's safety, but maybe the dog was
a bit much.
I mean, the dog is not conducive to maintaining a safe bicycle rider.
He wasn't worrying about the guy's safety. He was worrying about his own safety. Let's get it right.
I mean, if the cop was really worried about the guy's safety, he could have just rode behind him with his headlights on and escorted him home.
Yep.
That would have been a nice thing to do.
But it didn't turn out that way, unfortunately.
So it looks like there's a couple videos here. Do we want to play one?
Yeah, I'm trying to load it up right now. We've got some activity and some questions going on over in the
on my side?
On your side. That would be cool to address. I also want to say what's up to Bunny, a faithful follower, not follower in the sense of, but
what's up, Bunny?
Man. Great to see you here.
Yeah. And just to clarify, the one person he was talking about legalese versus plain English, which is kind of the same thing as common law, but not really, I guess. The same principles. So, anyhow. And then somebody asked, where's the movement headed? Well, I would say the movement is headed to... I'd say we're heading to critical mass at this point. I mean, there's so many people now that are starting to pay attention, whether they're supporters or non-supporters. Eventually, everybody sees the light. You just plant that seed, And even if you don't see the seed, even if you get cussed out and some, eventually people are going to start thinking about the things that you say. They're going to start seeing situations, and eventually they'll see things in a different light. And, that's where I see things going. Is I see enough seeds getting planted that, the internet, with the introduction of the internet, information can pass so quickly and so freely. It's just unstoppable. And I just want to take a minute and say it's really important that anytime any internet censorship bills come up, we have to really take them seriously, because
Oh my God.
the internet is the only thing that will save us. And it's going to be slow and it's going to be hard, but I believe in the movement, and I believe that once people can see that the face of the government, the people that we have to deal with on a daily basis, that are the government, once they see that these people are not, that they're not what they think they are, then I think we'll start to see some real change happen on government level. So, I mean, I would say that there's a lot more people out there, holding up and filming police interactions with their phone sideways in a horizontal position, like filming. It's really a nice thing to see that people are filming and with their phones horizontal like this.
So anyways, I'm going to pop over to that, and I'm going to play that video that we were on just a few seconds ago, because I have it up here, and it gets way off of our story.
Wow, Bama Camera was served a warrant to seize all his electronics. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that either.
Huh.
Okay.
Interesting. If somebody in that chat there wants to send us a link, while this video is playing, we'll.
The video I guess will not play, so I'm gonna go ahead and just.
It seemed like there was 2 videos there, but whatever. Anyways, the guy's riding a bike and the cop sicked a dog on him. I mean, is there really much more we need to talk about there?
That's true. I mean, it's just an unfortunate thing, dog really ripped into the guy, but I mean, fuck, that's a lawsuit and it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he looks really torn up. He's got some tube coming out of his armpit that looks really, really, really bad. And I mean, the dog just kept going at him.
That's what they're trained to do, though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's what they trained them to do.
So, people are worried about, pit bulls, and oh no, pit bulls are, well, they're using German Shepherds, and I love German Shepherds, but they're capable.
Right.
Hey, I want to ask you guys something.
Yeah, please do while I'm pulling up the next story.
What would you think if you saw a drone following you?
Man, I'd lose my shit.
A police drone.
And Bunny, I unspammed it, so if you want to send it again.
Yeah, I got a guy on my Facebook page where he does cop watch in New York, and he started filming this drone that was following them as they were patrolling, cop watching. And they changed directions to try to get away from it, and it just kept coming back around right over their heads. That's
Wow.
pretty some scary shit right there.
Actually, I saw, drone use is pretty funny. I saw Brett Sanders posted a video earlier this week. I don't think I'll be able to find it right now. But he basically drone, took it out for a test flight, and found a cop at the back of a park sleeping in the back of his, or not sleeping in the back, but sleeping in his cruiser, like.
Really?
At least
Yeah.
the cop was being an active
Holy
member.
shit.
Yeah, that's, I'd rather him be sleeping than, I'd rather him not be getting paid at all, but if he's got to be there, I'd rather him be sleeping than out fucking with people.
Right.
So maybe they should go. Oh, go ahead.
Yep. So I have a story I want to get into, seeing that we don't have a lot of time left, and it's kind of a bigger one for us here in the Carbon County area. So there's been a hush-hush case that's been going on over the last year since last, or basically since March, where two Carbon County deputies basically shot and killed a resident here in Carbon County in Juliet, which is not too far away from where Scott and I live. Basically, the trial itself only took 6 hours in front of seven jury members, and they were acquitted of all charges. Now these are two deputies. This was let me find it here. The person they killed was John Charles Graham, and it was deputies Jeremy Ninebaugh and Chad Glick. They were, like I said, they were acquitted of the charges. But what really kind of worries me is the fact that there was dash cam footage that was only shown once in court and has not been released to the media or anything like that, which means there's got to be something that just doesn't fit. Now, seeing that the case is over, it allows us to turn around and go back and at least turn around and see what this footage is now, because we should be able to get it through a right to know. So that's on the game plan, is to go get a right to know and get this footage, because if it added up, why wouldn't they have just released it when requested? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should just give it up. I mean, it's dash cam footage. We paid for the camera, we paid for the car, we paid for the cop. What the fuck?
Yeah, there's something on that camera that they don't want people to see.
Right, because the resident, if I remember right, he was in his 60s, and what they said happened was as they pulled up to his residence and pulled in onto his farm, he came out and shot his rifle in the air. They got out and immediately just started firing back. And once they started firing back, you can hear, it says by the transcriber, that you hear Glick yell, "Shoot, shoot, shoot." And afterwards, Glick tried to say that he stormed out with a blank stare and attempted to shoot them, which, so there's conflicting stories there in their official story and what was going on inside the courtroom. There's differences. So if there's those two differences, I mean, that right there gives enough for me to want to know what the hell was on that video. And it's public knowledge now. It should give us the right to be able to just pop in and request it. But we'll keep you up to date on how that goes, because obviously that we're going to get a little bit of resistance when we go and
yeah. The last time I did a right to know, they denied me information. And then when I got it, the Office of Open Records said that they couldn't deny me information unless it was part of an investigation. Now, since this investigation is over, I would say that the Office of Open Records is going to give me my record.
They should.
So, I mean, I'm sure other news agencies are already on this, but if enough of us go after this, I'm sure.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, Bunny, about the difficulties with you getting us a link. Looks like it's the spam blocker. Even though I disabled it, it's still not letting them post the link. And then on the Q&A, he can't get it to work either. So. Sorry about that, Bunny. We'll look into that, and if we remember, which we probably won't, but if we do, we'll talk about it next week.
I'm popping over to Google Plus just to see if I can't send him a message real quick.
Well, I mean, we're running out of time.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but with something so close to us, we have to investigate.
Oh yeah. There's no way around that. I mean, it's our backyard. I mean, if we spend this amount of time talking about stuff that's happening all over the country, there's no way that we can't get our asses out there and and investigate this. It kind of upsets me that it was such a hush-hush case that we didn't find out about it until it was done and over with, which definitely makes me think that there's even more to be found here than, more than meets the eye, to quote the Transformers. But, basically, let's use that, let's go ahead and use that right to know, kind of like the Konami code, and get that information so we can get it out into the public.
Yep. Also, should we just do some plugs and
Yeah.
let's do some plugs. All right. I want to tell you guys about Wednesday night. Cop Block Radio goes from 10 Eastern to midnight Eastern. And you got Severin Freeman of Lehigh Valley Cop Block, Matthew Taylor of Carbon County Cop Block, and do you guys have a third chair this week?
Honestly, as we've been rolling into it, we've been kind of doing our third on a fly. So at this point, we're not sure who our third is going to be, but eventually we will announce that. Normally, we have some pretty exciting guests, so it's definitely something to tune into. We also now have a call-in line for that as well, so we're able to engage with the audience, and that's pretty exciting. So, yeah, definitely tune in there. We'll have some fun stories and a great topic to talk about. So,
yeah, that's Wednesday nights. I always tune in. Check it out. And what else? Do we have anything else we want to plug?
Check out the Cop Block store at copblock.org/store, and don't forget to also check out the links there for resources and knowledge to know your rights.
All right, thank you there, Squeaky.
Also, when you're out there and you want to go do some cop blocking, don't forget it's always good to have some sort of live streaming capabilities. So if that means using Facebook, use Facebook. If you've got Bambuser, Cell 411, any of that stuff, just make sure that you're getting video out there so you have something to protect yourself, and also just to really just, it's about protecting yourself.
And I heard YouTube is about to roll out a straight from phone streaming. Like, they already have it on some phones.
Yep.
But they're about to roll it out to everybody. Excuse me.
Yes, I definitely need that.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
I mean, we'll go out and we'll do our cop blocking streaming straight to YouTube. Like that. As simple as that. So that'll be awesome. And everybody, please check out Oath Accountability Project. I know the people that are watching on my stream already know, but please subscribe. 360 camera, and I don't leave home without it. So we're gonna be catching all kinds of awesome 360 stuff.
Yes, and then also come on over to Cop Block, Carbon County Cop Block, and on Facebook, and give me a like as well. We have content going up all the time, great discussions going on, so come on over, check us out, and get yourself informed. And then also, Rick, why don't you tell them about your page?
Well, check out Allentown Cop Block on Facebook. I usually post stories there as well, and I share some of yours too. But yeah, check it out. Give it a like, give it a review. Feel free to give us your comments and your thoughts on the page, on the stories, and whatever it is you do. And don't forget to subscribe to Allentown Cop Block on YouTube.
Absolutely. So, and then also, everybody, don't forget to tune in next week at 9:30. That will be July 4th. Ooh, are we going to have a July 4th show, guys?
You know what? I think we should.
You know what?
I think we should.
We'll talk. We'll come up.
Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to do something.
Because I was about to ask you guys what you guys are doing for 4th of July, because I'm thinking about going out there cop blocking.
Yeah, you know what? I got some ideas too, so we'll definitely get together and have something awesome for next week. But guys, Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in, everybody, on Oath Accountability Project and on Cop Blast Podcast. We will see you guys next week on July 4th. Until then, stay safe. Make sure to film cops whenever you can, and have yourself an awesome week.
Always record this way.
Yeah.